Alrighty guys, today we're going to be doing a transmission swap on a Mk3 vr6. Diff blew up on this one. This is one of my boy's car. What we're going to do first, take out the wheel, jack up the car, put it on jack stand. I'm going to start unplugging sensors and everything from up here, and I just got to remove the one transmission mount, which is right there. Axles from the axle transmission. So all you're going to need is what is this? An M8 12-point Volkswagen tool. It's all for your axles and for like your Mk3 stuff, like for the suspension stuff. For the back bolt, it doesn't have like actual bolts, it has these weird Volkswagen tools. Alright, so this is the bottom of the trans. Here's the two big ass nipple holes in the diff. And I'm gonna do is remove the other side of the axle, remove the two bolts there from the mount, and then I'm gonna undo, I think these are fucking 17s, cooling into the actual motor. I'm gonna get a nice, damn, that's crazy. How does my boy even doing now, changing this? So I'm gonna get a nice piece of wood, lay it in here, and then hold the motor, jack the motor down just a little bit so we can get the trans out, and pretty much just put the other one in. It's an easy job. Alright, so we have a 13mm little bolt there holding the actual linkage. So we're gonna remove that one from here, and then this one all you're gonna do is pull up and pull out this little thing right here. That's the, okay, watch out because there's a spacer here. So see, we won't lose parts. Hold this out of the way. Put the screw back on. Now I just want to remove the bracket over here. There's two bolts, one here, one there. Actually bolt onto the trans. So we're going to remove those two. Slowly and getting it done. And then we got to remove the cables for the actual alternator. So when we drop the trans, it won't break. Alright guys, so we were getting to the actual bolts in the trans. Now I loosened up the bottom ones, and well, they're all 19mm by the way. Now I got to the top bolt right about there. Now these transmissions have one longer bolt which goes by the starter. Now I don't want to say any names, but the guy that built this car before screwed over my boy. Guess what he did too? He put in the wrong bolts. As soon as I took the bolt out, you guessed it, he pierced the, I guess the block, and it's leaking coolant. He was having a coolant leak. He's like, I don't know where the fuck this shit's coming from. Well, now we know. Sucks, but I mean, everyone in the forums, like, you know, they run it like that, just put the bolt back in, but it sucks, but let's get this finished. All right, next on the list was this 13mm bolt right here, and the plug for the starter. You remove that, remove the two cables on the actual starter. Now we're gonna remove the trans mount up here. There's one bolt. Now all the bolts in the trans are out. Now I'm just about to remove the other axle when I realized a little problem. This axle was replaced with with an aftermarket axle, and they replaced it with Allen keys, which in a ways I don't like it because I don't really have, you know, all the sizes, but let's see if I have it so I can remove it. All right, so pretty much we have the other axle out. You remove this little cover from under here. There should be two bolts. There's always only one. There should be a bolt for the trans there, and then in the mount up there is another little bolt that I got to take out. And I think all I'm missing is this bolt here. Let me check actually. Well, I gotta check which ones I'm missing to loosen up, and then I'll pull the trans down. Alright, so we removed the axle from the other side. There's a little mount here. We removed the three bolts that are on there. We removed the two bolts that are there, one on the mount here and one on the bottom, the little metal bracket. Now all I did is I'm holding the motor with the jack over there and a piece of wood, and the trans over here. I'm just gonna lower the trans slowly and pull it out towards this way. All right, so I totally forgot about one last screw that's Let me see if I can see it through here. Right on top of the axle, there's one more bolt. It's a 19 millimeter. Now, well, like I told you before about the coolant. So now the tranny should be fully out. So remember, one mount there, two bolts here, one on the mount in the front, one on the bottom, the two little nuts, and then the one in the back. Let's see. Oh, she's loose now. She's loose. All right. After hours of struggling, the transmission's finally out. Here she is. Now, if you want to tackle this by yourself, don't. Please do yourself a favor, don't. Get yourself a helper. I'm gonna fucking cry. This shit was a fucking pain in the ass. My body hurts. Not because it was hard, just because there was so much shit that's done improperly. Cables on the way. I mean, so much shit. And it's so dirty. I'm gonna power wash this tomorrow, degrease it, so I can work on this properly. This is the mount that I'm guessing the last guy sent. And what he did is he sent it and then he put a little weld right on top. I don't know where the bulb went, but yep. Alright, so it's a 9mm 12-point socket to remove the bolt on the flywheel. I put the tool so the clutch won't fall down once I remove it. So I'm gonna just take out the bolt, see how bad the damage is on the clutch. Alright, so the clutch is out. Actually, one of the pieces that flew out of the trans chewed a little bit of the bolt, so it was a pain in the ass to take out, but it came out. Now the clutch is actually brand new. He did have a stage 1 clutch installed, so that's that. Now because the diff exploded and it exploded inside, and I don't know how the fuck this happened, but yes, you can see there's chunks missing. So one of the pieces that flew out of the inside of the diff like cut one of the little bolts. Now what we're doing here is we're swapping over the shift tower. Now what you could do if you have a Mark 3 transmission, vr6 or the regular one, Mark 4s, O2Js, it's pretty much the same. It's not the same trans, but you can switch over this old style shift tower to the newer one, so you can change the actual cables from the Mark 3 flimsy ones to the Mark 4 that has like nicer bushings. And just pull it up slowly. I don't want to break this. I'm doing this with one hand, like so, and swap it over to the new one. Same way. Now you're gonna find the hole down there. There's a little key in here that has to lock on there. Now once you install it, what you want to check is that all the gears go in. Reverse. Alright, now to my favorite part. Not really. I'm gonna wash it. Now I'm gonna, well, this one I don't need to wash because it's already garbage, but I'll just move that out the way. I'm gonna power wash the new trans, put some degreaser in it, and put degreaser underneath this whole car. About 30 minutes, 40 minutes later, we have a freshly clean, degreased trans. The underneath cover is nice and clean. I can actually touch it. You don't see fucking grease everywhere. The undercarriage of the car is actually clean. Everywhere that I can touch, it's actually, look, you can see the difference. The rest didn't come out. But yeah, I try to clean most of it as possible. Control arms are no longer greasy. The subframe is no longer greasy, so when I put the new trans in, it'll be nice and clean. Now I'm gonna let this dry overnight. Alright, so now you're gonna put your tool through the actual clutch, and we're just gonna line it up with the flywheel. Perfect. Now we're just gonna get the pressure plate, put it on. There should be little guides that line up. Oh fuck, my glove. That line up in these little guys right here. It's actually kind of heavy. I'm gonna have to use 2 hands to install. Now, you have to line up. There's little guides in here that you gotta line up, but there's indentations on this pressure plate where the bolts go, so you just gotta find the bolt holes and actually put in the right order. I had to lay down. It was wet, so I had to get a mat in here so I can lay down and do it properly. But that's done. As long as the clutch is in there with the tool, you should be fine. Once you turk this down to spec, it will press the clutch all together. It's all done by pressure. So let me finish, okay? Now the way I like to do this is, once you already have all the bolts in, how do you want to tie these is going to be 1 bolt at a time, and now you want to do it diagonally. So if I start with this one, the next one's going to be the one up top over here, and tying that one down all the way by hand, and then keep doing that over and over again until all the bolts are on, hand tied. And then we're gonna get the torque wrench and we're gonna tie them down. All right, so I put a new throw bearing in here. Swapped over the shifter tower. I'm gonna swap over the speed sensor now, and then put up the trends. All right, after I had to go get this from Harbor Freight, since I'm doing this by myself. This helped out a lot, and I got this little I don't know what the fuck this thing is called. Whatever this thing is, so just you rack it up and it pulls it. What's that? A winch puller. So pretty much mounted up the trends, and yeah, you could do this by hand, but the way that it was like leaning, I couldn't get it on for my life, so I had to go get some tools to help me out. But I got it on. Alright guys, so pretty much everything is bolted up here. I just gotta go buy 2 bolts that hold the back mount to the trans. I had them, I just don't know where the fuck they went. Like, one of them is there, but that's the one that snapped, so I gotta get another one now. Oh, you saw the little mole rat? That's crazy. Got it on camera. Okay, everything is bolted up. Now I'm just gonna put on the battery and start it up. I gotta see if I gotta bleed the clutch. Also, I need to get some coolant because owner didn't bring me coolant yet, so I'm gonna tell him to bring that, and pretty much this should be all right. Brand new axles in. Now you can feel it. It's smooth. It rotates. Now it's good. The other one had, like, I don't know if it was a bend or, I'm pretty sure it's just the bearings inside. I tried to fix it, but that shit is stiff. Like, the whole axle itself, like, there's no movement in there. But now he got me more coolant. I can finish doing the coolant flush. There's still some missing. And I put some oil on the trans and get this thing on. Back on the road again.